Today's video, we're going to be checking out the Mattel Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Gyrosphere, and Clair. Not only does the Gyrosphere fit Clair, but it also fits two figures. So if you happen to have, I don't know, another Owen kicking around, which I do, you can actually fit both figures inside. Now, before we have a look at the Gyrosphere, let's figure out how tall Clair stands. She's about 3 3.25 of an inch tall. Some other size comparisons we can make as well. Here's the Owen that comes included with the blue Velociraptor, and I just so happen to have blue right there as well. I think these are the only two sets of this size where you get essentially kind of a vehicle, or in this case you got blue and then you got one figure. It was the Clair and the Gyrosphere, and of course the one that we already looked at, Owen and blue. I guess they are sized appropriately, even like taking the Gyrosphere size, comparing it to blue. They are roughly the correct sizing, I suppose. We'll go ahead and move. Actually, you know what? We'll keep Owen here because we're going to have to look at the two of them sitting inside. But first things first, let's have a look at Clair. From a smaller standpoint, I guess it does capture somewhat the look of Clair. Here with her ponytail and wearing her longer jacket. The jacket is of a softer rubber plastic. Of course, you can't take... I suppose you could take the jacket off, but as we've already discussed in many reviews, of course, the jacket sleeve will still be part of the shirt underneath, so it doesn't make any sense to want to take the jacket off. Paint's pretty good on her, nice and clean, especially the fact that for as small as the figure's face is, if I can get the camera to focus, there we go. That's a pretty small face, and it's very cleanly applied, especially like the lips and the eye area. So nicely done. Again, she's got, for the rest of her clothing, a pair of brown slacks and a somewhat pair of high boots. I don't know what the actual term is for those boots. I would have said riding boots, but I'm sure there's a more fashionable term for them. I don't even, for 1 second, don't even pretend to believe I know what I'm talking about when it comes to fashion. Again, there she is next to Owen. Appropriately, she is a little bit smaller than Owen, just like she is in the movie. And posability on her. Her head rotates all the way around. Hinge up and down. I do like these smaller figures of Jurassic Park, especially for the fact that they are hinging. They have full articulation, like the hinges on the arms. I know I said Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. Hinge on the elbow. The elbows rotate. Nothing sadly in the wrist, but that's okay. Waist swivel. Legs split. Forward and back. Bend at the knee. Rotate the lower leg. So you get a pretty good amount of articulation on these little tiny small, again, about 3 3/4 of an inch. Put her right there. We'll move Owen over slightly. Maybe move her over a little bit more slightly. And let's have a look at the Gyrosphere. As you can see, it is considerably cracked on one side. When you get it out of packaging, it actually comes in two halves. The other half is behind Clair. And without knocking Owen over, you are immediately treated to this when you get it out of packaging. It is self-correcting by the nature of the Gyrosphere. A similar contraption was kind of like BB-8. This kind of seems the last couple of years have been the years of self-correcting things, whether it be the Gyrospheres or BB-8. Again, you can rotate this any which way that you want. Obviously not this way, but if you turn it, you'll see that the chairs continue to stay upright. Inside, not the most generous amounts of paint. Instead, they've kept it only to the plastic itself. You got a couple of little clamps that you can clamp onto the torso areas of the figures. I'll show you that in a second. There's a joystick in the middle, same coloring of plastic as the rest of it. And they've done the flooring in there as well. I don't necessarily say that I would need stickers or anything like that, but something inside could have been added so it wasn't just solely seats a very uncolored joystick, and basically just blues, grays, and blacks. But a nice touch is the little flooring area there. And there's some deco around the outer areas of the gyroscope as well. And then we can go ahead and take the figures. Doesn't really matter which figure you put on which side, but I'm going to put Owen on this side just because I want to. There we go. Get him all firmly planted. You could bend the knees as well, but I think Owen's a little trickier. Actually, Claire's a little tricky as well. The chairs end exactly where the knees start. So you can imagine it's a little trickier to actually bend the legs down. We'll go ahead and try to bend Claire's legs first. See if we fare a little bit better this way. Find the hinge joint. There's the hinge right there, okay. And we'll go ahead and get her clamped in. It kind of helps too to hold the back so that it's supporting it while you're trying to fit the figure in there. Yeah, it is a little trickier once you've got the legs bent there. Almost looks like they're holding hands. Oh, that's so sweet. Alright, so we'll go ahead and take the smashed end of the dome. And this reminds me growing up of having a hamster ball. I can't imagine hamster balls are great for hamsters. I don't think they really enjoy the idea of being enclosed in a dome, but that's what we had when we were younger. There's a little slot, if you can see it, on that side. See how it slightly looks different than the rest, the outer area there of the dome. That's going to fit right here. Let me just show you right there. See, there's a little ledge right here, and there's a ledge here. You're connecting the two together, and now the gyrosphere isn't going to go anywhere on you. And as we looked at before, if I continued to spin this, I could do this for the next 15 minutes. I really wouldn't get tired of doing it either. But if I kept doing it this way, you would always see that the chairs, as well as the two passengers, are always being corrected, which is pretty cool. For as simplistic as this is constructed, that's a pretty snazzy sort of gimmick, if you will. The fact that that will continue to right itself, correct itself as you're spinning it. So you could spin the ball back and forth, and the camera will hopefully stay focused on it. But the characters, the two main characters, will still stay upright, which is pretty cool. Did the glass necessarily need to be cracked on the front? No, but it does give a little extra something to it, as opposed to if it just had been, you know, a undamaged dome on both sides. At least the cracked gives it a little extra oomph. Overall, I do like it. It's a nice accompanying piece. For example, if you already have the blue and Owen. And for Clair, I guess, what else would I have packaged with Clair, other than maybe, say, like a gyrosphere? So for that sense, it does make perfect sense that she would have come included with it. I guess she could have come with also a dinosaur, but the dinosaur end of it, I think I'll keep more so with Owen here. In final looks, we've got a gyrosphere that's moving all over my turntable. It's probably going to roll itself right off, so we'll make this quick. Luckily, the real gyrospheres would have had oxygen inside, so you're not going to have the two main characters, suffocating, which I guess can't really be the same case. There's no oxygen on the inside of these gyrospheres, but luckily, I hate to break this to you, these are plastic figures. They don't breathe. They don't need to be alive. The gyrosphere is a nice little accompanying piece to getting a 3 3/4 inch version of Clair. Clair could have been packaged on her own with a couple of little accessories here and there, kind of like what we got with Owen, which I think she also is getting a single card release. But I think if anything, if you're going to get her with something, you might as well get her with a gyrosphere, as it's continuing to move on my turntable. Please don't roll off. Please don't roll off. I'll make this quick. If you guys are interested in having a look at more, there it goes. It's almost going to roll off. You guys are interested in having a look at some more, almost. You guys are interested in having a look at some more Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom toy reviews, feel free to check out my playlist called Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Oh, now it's centering itself. Of course, more videos also will be coming your way, guys. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time. Almost fell off.